Final Fantasy Brave Exvius has had a lot of content come out recently, but even more content that's supposed to have come out recently. This video is going to be about all the missing content that we're waiting for in the global version of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, all the way from the different trials to different things you guys may not even know about or probably supposed to be out around now. Some of them might not even be coming out, and we're gonna be talking about those today, guys. So let's get into it right now. Missing content from the global version of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Obviously, the first thing that we're gonna have to start off with, as you guys know, the big two. The first one is going to be the expert mission rewards. A lot of you guys probably heard about the expert missions and how everyone's waiting for the expert missions. If you guys don't know what the expert missions are, these are going to be for players who've been playing the game for quite a while, and the expert missions are going to be, at least they were in Japan, a way for you to get your hands on a decent amount of unit of choice select summon tickets. We're talking about 20 unit of choice select summon tickets that were available from the expert missions. Now, what were the expert missions? The expert missions were very simple. They weren't really even missions at all, if you ask me. They're basically just a reward for every time you hit a different threshold of different 7-star characters that you awakened, all the way up to 100 different 7-star characters. The 100th reward was a nice little ring that you would put on. It's kind of like a weaker ring of Dominion, which gave you a Tech Defense Magic Spirit bonus of a decent amount for all of those stats there. But the other rewards, they were all different amounts of ULC tickets there. I think they were total of like between, it was like 24 or 26, 22, somewhere around there. It's in the 20s. I don't remember off the top of my head, but this is what everyone's waiting for, the expert missions. We asked this question all the time: where are the expert missions? Every time there's a news update and there's no talk of the expert mission rewards, it's where are the expert missions? Because everyone wants 20-something ULCs. So where are those expert missions? Last time we got a big actual answer on it was last year's Fan Festa, and I'm not talking about 2019, I'm talking about last year's Fan Festa 2018, which was a blast, by the way. Let's please have another Fan Festa. It was early 2019. Well, it's 2020 now. We still don't have them, so we're waiting for these expert mission rewards. Obviously, if you ask me why were they delayed, I would probably say and chalk it up to the fact that they reworked the summon system. They made it so we can prism characters right away when they come out. 8 ULCs for their prism, but you can't prism their characters anymore, versus the Summon Fest system that JP had, where you could, you know, ULC the characters still in the character rate when they came out, but most of those characters, like 90% of them, were Summon Fest characters and were time limited in that way, and thus you couldn't ULC those characters. So global version definitely got the better deal there, but we're suffering in the way that we don't have the expert missions yet. And I'm sure they were tallying behind the scenes when it was the best time to release them, but I'm going to tell you right now, just release them already. All right, we've waited too long. It's been a month a year. It's been a year and some months that we've waited for these expert mission rewards. So that's gonna be the expert missions, definitely need to come out. Number 2, tied with that, is gonna be the World Story Lapis reset. Now, this one is also really huge. It is a large amount of Lapis out there for any player. I don't care if you're free to play. I don't care if you're a giant whale. I don't care if you're a dolphin. I don't care if you're a minnow. I don't care if you're a mako shark, a sea turtle, a seahorse. I don't care if you're a plankton. You want this too. All right, so this is something that they did actually talk about on the November live stream, and I do like what they're doing with this. So the Story Lapis reset reward, you guys know every time you go into the story, right, there's like, use a fire damage, use Mirror of Equity, blah, do something, don't have someone die. They give you like a little bit of Lapis, like 20 Lapis for each different story node that there is. What the Story Lapis reset was going to be is that you would allow yourself to hit a button and reset all of those different missions, and you could go back there and get all of those little bits of Lapis again. And if you've gone a long ways through the story, right, you've beat Story Season 1, you've beaten Story Season 2, it'll unlock all of that for you once again. And we're talking 20,000 plus Lapis here for going back and doing them all. But what they did talk about, 2 times they've talked about why it's getting delayed. Number 1, they said they wanted to institute it in the best way possible. Pretty basic PR speak, right? Didn't really do a whole lot for me, and they even said that they might release it in different parts, which I'm not really the biggest fan of either. But the part that I'm a big fan of is because even though it is a big amount of Lapis, I don't want to go back in there. And this is going to sound so first world problem. I don't want to go back in there. Remember, every single node for every single story you've ever done, you have to go back and do all of those missions again. I'm talking summon free, I'm talking Make sure you use maintenance, whatever that skill is. Make sure you use normal Mirror of Equity. Make sure you use Blade Bash on all these really crazy wonky missions that you do through going through the story. What they're going to do though is they instituted a picture, and if you're around for the original news video when I did do that, there's going to be a world mission system instead of a Lapis story reset, and the mission system is going to give you the same amount of Lapis that you'd have gotten before, but instead of having to go back and do all of those different little missions for all of the different little worlds, all the different little nodes, it'll be very similar to how the rookie system is right now, where it's like, defeat this boss in Landsat Isles, and it'll give you all of the Lapis that you would have done if you would have beaten all of those little mini missions. It'll, instead of, getting 40 for beating the boss, and then 20 for using fire, and then 20 for using Mirror of Equity, and 20 for using maintenance, it'll just give you 100 Lapis for just going in there, not thinking about it, and just beating that boss in that final node. So it's going to make that way easier, less meticulous when you're going and getting that Lapis reset. When is that coming out? I have no idea, but I'm waiting for it, and I need it now. It's my free Lapis, and I need it now, okay? I need it now. I need that free Lapis in my account. I'm thirsty for it, all right? I'm thirsty for the free Lapis. Now, the other ones that we're going to be talking about, now that we've gotten the big two off the table, the one that I like, one of the better things that they instituted to the game is actually the Chamber of the Vengeful. The Chamber of the Vengeful originally came out with Armageddon, was very cool. It's just the one where you go in there, you take in a bunch of different units, right? Originally released with 12 different trials, now it's up to 22 different rewards, from Vengeful to Legendary, Pro, Elite, and Legendary. You can get different rewards, from gear to Red Star Quartz to Super Team Art tickets, I do believe now as well. Very, very, very nice rewards here. A while ago, though, they said they were going to plan for one a month. The last time we got one, though, was Demon Matsuri. And as you can see, I haven't actually done them all, so a little bit of a hypocrite here. It's okay. It's fine. It's all right. It's all right. It's like reading the last Harry Potter book. You just don't want to. You don't want the story to end, so I've put it off. I don't want this. I don't want the Demon Matsuri story to end, guys, so I haven't done it yet. All right, but anyway, one a month is what they've been talking about. They want to do one a month. Well, we got the Demon Matsuri one. I think that was in October of sometime. Sometime in October. One a month, sometime in October. This needs to at least, I'll give you a little leeway. You miss one, you get one. You miss one, you do two. You miss a month, you do two. You do three, you do four. You miss a month. Sure. It's January now. October, November, December, January. We need one of these for sure. And obviously these are tied to the elemental wave battles. These are tied to the whatever you want to call them, the Keepers of Time / the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Final Fantasy Brave Cinematic Universe characters, right? We have one for Elena, Esther, Kaito, Tsukiko, those kind of characters. The Keepers of Time, and I can't remember what they're called right now. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, these are also tied to those characters, and those characters are tied to a wave battle, and you usually get the wave battle enemy as the chamber bosses here. But in addition to that being late, they had also did a really cool update with this as well, which is, you can see here that Armageddon fight has additional rewards, up to 22 different sort of rewards here from the extra challenges. So this is what you want to go back and get your Super TMR tickets, your Red Star Quartz, your King Pots, all this other good stuff, as well as rewards with newer players in mind. That's a little bit easier for them to do, which has good gear, as well as King Pots, etc., etc., 5-star EX tickets, all of that good stuff in there for those players too. They said that they were going to do this to all of the bosses, and they were supposed to happen to all of them at the same time, but you can see that these other bosses have not been updated yet. They're still only 11 unit challenges instead of 22 unit challenges. And there's some really good stuff in there for players of all shapes and sizes. That's why I like the Chamber of the Vengeful, is it's got 3 different difficulties, and the really good stuff, you want better gear for your units, you want a really good materia, etc. You can go in there, you can get all the 22 elite battle challenges. You can come in here, you can get your King Pots for like a newerish player, so you can start maxing units out. You get the 5-star EX ticket, so you can start maxing units out. And you also get the really good set gear, as well as the Catastrophic Crown and the Catastrophic Vest, which you may have seen in other guides, which is like, if you are a newer player, there's some free stuff that you can go and get that's really, really good. I use that stuff still, and now I'm a 3-year veteran of this game. I have a lot of stuff equipped on my characters from those battles. That's how good they are. And these haven't been updated yet for the Demon Matsuri and the Empress Supreme. And those legendary awards are really good for veteran players too, because Red Star Quartz increases your stat cap for your attack defense, magic, spirit, HP, MP. Very, very valuable resources, and these haven't been updated in quite a while, and I've been waiting for the updates for this stuff, guys, most assuredly. Now, the other one that we guys can talk about here is the EP system. Now, they did say that they're going to go back and rework the EP system. They have kind of done it in the back, but we haven't really talked about it, right? They lowered the requirements for the EP system. They've been giving different characters the EP system points. New characters used to have to get their EP skills right away, like Bartz and Lena, Warrior of Light Bartz and Warrior of Light Lena, had to unlock their EP system skills. Instead, when new units come out, they just get them unlocked naturally. They're not even EP skills, they're just in their base kit. They've been giving characters like global exclusive units mostly new EP ability awakenings. We saw that with Aurora, Frivia, and Frivia, etc. This week, we're getting or have gotten, depending on when you watch this video, ones for the Lunar New Year units for both 2019 and 2018. Lunar New Year, I think Ong is in there, Chao's in there. I think maybe even Yoon's in there too, getting ability awakening, EP ability skills for those characters. What we haven't really gotten though is the EP ability skills for a lot of the stuff that's traditionally been tied to the different series bonus boss battle units. So if you don't know what the series bonus boss battle units are, you probably have already fought in them, but if you're a newer player, just entertaining this idea, these are different boss battle units that make you fight bosses from the different various Final Fantasy games. So FF5, Neo Exdeath, Chaotic Darkness for FFBE, Kefka from 6, Emperor from 2, Chaos from FF1, and Arden from 15. In JP, the EP system was kind of tied to, they didn't have the EP system. The skills that we are having in our EP system were tied to as a reward to these battles here. And these battles awarded a bunch of different skills for a bunch of different characters from their specific games. So like FF15 Arden would give Prompto skills, Gladiola skills, Ignis skills. All of these other characters from that series would get a bunch of different skills for beating that boss. We haven't got this actually for a lot of our characters from the past, and a lot of these characters get some really good stuff going into the future, and even some of them right now don't have access to them, and this is a big piece of content currently missing from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. We're talking some of these EP abilities are so strong they could, for some players out there, turn a unit who is literally not worth using period to an absolute powerhouse, and that's one of the best things that can happen in FFBE, and that's one of the coolest things for me is seeing something like that happen. We're talking units like Dark Knight Cecil, like actual Dark Knight Cecil. You've probably pulled a million of them. You hate to see it. We're talking one of his EP skills turns into a skill that goes up to a 40 times multiplier, Stardust Ray Chaining Frame family, that you can go in there and cast a bunch, and it heals his HP and MP, and it enables triple cast after you use it. How amazing is that? That for an EP skill, absolutely crazy. And yes, you can triple cast that skill. 40 times multiplier, true double hand, Stardust Ray. Get in there, do work with him, unlock triple cast. Why don't we have stuff like that? We're talking like Auron from FFB or FFB, FF10 Auron, right? Some people are still using him as a mainstay breaker because he still breaks really well. He breaks crazily good. We're talking he gets a skill, Absolute Mirror of Equity, cooldown skill available on turn 4, does 28 times multiplier in the chain, 80% break for 1 turn, 76% break for 2 turns, 74% break for 3 turns, and let's not even forget to talk about how he gets crazy multiplier increases for some of his skills once you've cleared the thing. We're talking 28 times multiplier increases to 3 of his skills, 15 times multiplier increases to some of his other skills, 50% free attack, 100% limit burst damage added to his skill, 6 limit burst gauge per turn, 30% HP, 30% MP, 30% spirit, not HP, no HP, just attack 50%, spirit MP 30%. These are some huge things that a lot of people want to have access to for their characters, and they can turn characters from like dead characters you never want to use, or these are kind of okay, I'm just kind of getting by, to absolute beasts, absolute monstrosities of a character for to use in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Some other content that isn't quite here yet is missing. I know a lot of you guys out there have asked about this recently. Felix and Tiana haven't gotten enhancements. Felix and Tiana were last year's Christmas units to be added to Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. This year you could pull for them if you wanted to, but they didn't get ability awakening updates. They didn't get latent abilities. what's the deal with Felix and Tiana? My best guess, guys, for Felix and Tiana owners out there is that they're probably going to get a rework at some point, right? Kryla and Christine both got a full rework, and it wasn't even around Christmas time. So I would expect that Felix and Tiana probably down the line will hopefully get an entire rework, and just maybe in the middle of July, Christmas in July. That's my best guess, ladies and gentlemen. Rework sometime out there. If you wanna put me up in that PR department, I'll probably reject your offer anyway. But Christmas in July, Felix and Tiana enhancements. Make it a joke, make it a meme, make it entertaining. That is a thing out here. So go ahead and do that, and maybe people will forgive you for not giving them the enhancements that they wanted in the reworks around Christmas time. Now, other ones as well, right? We're transitioning between the end of season story 2 and the beginning of the story for season 3. There's some stuff out there that's missing that hasn't quite gotten there yet. Obviously, it's not really late yet, but Bahamut, 2-star. Asura, 2-star. Esper fights, not existing in the game quite yet. Maybe they'll come out, maybe they won't come out. We're getting pretty close to the timeline where story season 3 should be starting in the next couple months or so. And one other thing, there's Madam's Manor. Madam's Manor is a sub-quest that you can do during season 2. It's pretty cool. It's like a very dungeon-esque thing. You have to go through a dungeon, get a sphere at the end, beat a boss. I think you have to go back through the dungeon again and beat the boss to actually get the sphere. And the reward at the end of that will be a nice one-handed weapon for Madame Adele, who's going to be one of the better damage dealers and one of the most future-proof damage dealers you can have access to in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. I've talked about her a lot. I was originally going to pull for her instead of Noctis, but, you know, Noctis, the meme of the channel, we have to go for it. How you look like Noctis? Why are you a Noctis clone? Why you discount Noctis? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't look like Noctis because I want to be Noctis. It's just how I look, man. You guys have made this a living meme that I get harassed over all the time now, so we embrace the meme of Noctis. He also was the first character head in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. That's what I started with. So you know what? Might as well end it with Noctis. Well, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're taking Noctis all the way through the rest of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. The only DPS we need is the boy. Now, one last thing that is missing, and it's kind of cool, but you guys probably don't know about this one, is actually Soul Palace Elytra. I think it's Elytra, not Elytra. I think it's Soul Palace Elytra out here. We're going to be going over this real quick. Soul Palace Elytra was something that came out in JP quite a little bit ago, and it's sort of a multi-battle, as you can see, 3-party dungeon. Soul Palace Elytra, aim for the top of the tower with your units. You go through different towers. It's actually like a reverse tower because it's basement floors, and you get different rewards, right? You get super TMR tickets, 5-star EX tickets, all this other cool stuff in there from Soul Palace Elytra. Now, the thing with Soul Palace Elytra, and the reason that it's probably late, and this is the one that I don't think will ever be coming to global, is because when it came out in JP, it came out as like first as a test thing, and it was like really bugged, and they had like disable it after a while, and then it came back again after they decided to fix it. And it kind of like had another bug with like disconnect issues. So they worked on it some more. And then I think it finally got reactivated where people could go through there. There was no problems for anybody. And then after that, no one has seen it ever since because it got replaced with Dark Visions. And Dark Visions is one of the things that got announced at the November live stream. And Dark Visions is really, really cool. And it sounds like they're trying to expedite it so it comes out earlier in the global version than we ever even anticipated for it to come out. Dark Visions is an insane thing. We have a video on how to prepare for Dark Visions. You can get really good rewards in there. You can upgrade some insane weapons. We're talking free rods that you get from just doing the event, 200 and something magic, 200 and something attack weapons, crazy, crazy cool stuff that you can get from the Dark Visions on top of other crazy rewards just for doing the event. So you'll be crafting weapons and upgrading weapons in Dark Visions, as well as getting your traditional cool reward stuff like we talked about with the Soul Palace Elytra with, you know, your super tamer tickets and stuff based off that nature. So that's gonna be a really cool thing for us to get access to. So Soul Palace Elytra, probably not coming out. Kind of sucks, but if they bring out Dark Visions earlier, I really don't care. Dark Visions is going to be super awesome. I actually can't wait to get in there and do the Dark Visions content in FFBE, guys. So that's going to be it for today. This is all of the different content that is missing in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. If I missed anything that your bleeding heart lets us know, just put it in the comments down below. I don't know why I rhymed that, but it happened. And thank you once again to everyone out there supporting the channel, whether it be via Patreon or by becoming a YouTube member or a Twitch member whatever one of those options you guys want to go for, if that's something you're looking for, becoming a backbone of supporting the channel so I don't have to rely entirely on YouTube and the big corporation of randomness that is the YouTube algorithm and YouTube period. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you guys so much for just watching the content as well. Comments are most appreciated. Let me know what you're feeling down in the comment section below about this topic, as well as others. I always try to read all of them. I might not respond to all of them because sometimes it gets to be a lot of stuff. Likes help a ton. If you're looking for the free support, that's the way. It helps out so much, guys. Likes, comments, and if you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe for more. And until then, guys, I'll see you, and be safe out there in the next one. Take care, guys.